So let's stay on the topic of broadcasting. I think it's fascinating because it's something that a lot of us take for granted. I would think, you're sitting there watching a game and you don't realize how difficult it is to be a broadcaster. Thankfully, I'm virtually sitting across from one right now, so I can ask you this question. But from your experience, how difficult is it to be in that booth and have stuff prepared to say and kind of just also reacting kind of in the heat of the moment, right, as stuff is unfolding on the field?
Yeah.
And then you talked about preparation. Maybe take us behind the scenes of what your preparation looks like. Just putting together all that information, before a game and then being able to execute on it effectively.
Yeah, it's a lot of prep, man. I mean, that's the one thing that I learned when I got into it. This was my second year doing it, and calling games. It's a lot of prep, a lot of homework, but really you got to be natural at it, and you got to have just the instinct of one knowing football. But the reality is, the guys that know football the best aren't always the best broadcasters. It's not an exact translation. You got to be able to be articulate and think on your feet and think quickly, because you don't have time. I mean, live television is a whole different beast. People don't realize you're up there and you got a headset on. I mean, you got producers talking in your ear. I could be in the middle of breaking down a play, right? And I'm saying, watch the outside linebacker number 12 here. Look at how he comes off the block. And in the middle of me saying that, I got a producer in my ear saying, Adam, take us to commercial break. 6, 5, 4, 3. And I got to take us to commercial break. End what I'm saying because they're trying to squeeze in a break between a play. And I got to go, instead of bringing down a play, I got to say, look at the linebacker number 12. It comes off the block. Big time play for the defense. It's 14-10 Eagles. You got to be able to think on your feet and move fast. So that you can't even prepare for that. You just got to be talented and know what you're doing. But there's a lot of preparation before the game and talking to coaches. And, you have a board that you put together throughout the week. So I have a board up there with every player on the team and notes about each one. So a lot of times you hear broadcasters, it's like the third string running back. They're like, this guy had a great career at this school and he ran for 120 yards last week. Well, everyone has it on their board in front of them. But the reality is when you're calling the game, you don't have time to look at your board a whole lot. Like I may glance down and get one tidbit from it, but I got to look at the game, right? I got to look at my monitor to see what the fans are seeing at home. So there's a lot that goes into it. You got to, there's this other thing called monitor discipline where my tendency is to watch the game, but I got to remember that I have a monitor in front of me that shows me what the viewer is seeing at home. So if I'm talking about the head coach because that's what I want to talk about, and I'm looking at him on the field, but then the monitor is showing the defense to the fans at home. I mean, I'm making no sense. They're showing the linebacker on defense, and I'm talking about the head coach, and then it screws the producer and director. They're having to change their shots around. So there's a lot to think about when you're up there, man. I know it's that topic fires me up because there's a lot. It's been fun learning about it and getting watching myself get progressively better. Because game one I called, I was terrible. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I sounded good. I rewatch it now, and it's painful to listen to.